We are going live now. We are live. Peace and Black Power. Welcome to the premiere episode of Whirlwind Wednesdays in collaboration with 100 Years in the Whirlwind. We got some amazing folk that's gonna, get you caught up in this whirlwind. We got Sista Tria. We got Baba Aleous, Mama Oracle of Spoken Word. Y'all seen her on Deaf Poetry Jam. Y'all seen her rocking all across the nation. Y'all seen her spitting poetry all across the world and the universe. She was on Pluto kicking spoken word. Okay, so let's welcome for this surprise on this Whirlwind Wednesday series and started off right with my sister, your sister Georgia Me in the building. Yes, sir.
Hey.
Yes, sir. It's going down.
How y'all doing, kings and queens? How you doing? Hey.
You feel? All right. Yeah, we got y'all give me a second, cause now that's not what I was planning on this evening, but all right. Yeah. Okay. So all right. Let's see here. Okay, I'm prepared. Sis, how are you today?
I am good, girl. I forgot that I was doing this. I went to sleep, woke up, and I Red Storm, another deaf poet, had came over. We sitting here, what you call that, ministering, you know what I'm saying, of the green. I'm here and I'm excited about this event. I'm excited to meet you. I heard that you like my work, so thank you so much. I appreciate it.
I do. I'm honored. I'm honored. So we definitely gonna get this going. We know you just woke up. We won't keep you long this evening. Just want to ask you some questions. So how'd your journey begin? Like where does Georgia Me start?
Well, Georgia Me starts in like 98 in the Atlanta I guess burgeoning scene. We already got Outkast, the faces here. I'm a young woman learning, my way, and I'm working at the Gallup poll. You know how you do since people call you, like, according to America, the latest Gallup poll, 60% of Americans feel that Trump is doing a horrible job. You know what I'm saying? I was that girl asking them questions. You know what I'm saying? So I'm working at the Gallup poll, write poetry, like I always wrote poetry since I was 11 years old. And my coworker, I shared a poem with her, and she was like, "You need to go read this at the poetry spot." And I'm like, "I'm not reading this in front of nobody," because I had fucked the nigga and he didn't call me back. So I was devastated. Okay, like my whole world was over. You know what I'm saying? But I was in an empowering way, analyzing not what had happened, but why it happened. You know what I'm saying? What deficiencies or insecurities it was I dealing with that allowed this to happen. So anyway, I went and read my poem at the spot, and it started a journey. I read it in every space and crevice and nook and cranny I could at every event. I'm still the official poem reader at every homegoing in my family and friends affiliated. You know what I'm saying? Like with baby showers, anniversaries, just poetry is just my life. And so it started just going to spots and making my name, and then I got on Deaf Poetry when that happened, like 2000 what, two? When did 9/11 happen? 2001. Then the year after, it was a month after 9/11, we did the very first season of Deaf Poetry, and the world knew about Georgia Me. And I'm Tamika Harper, that's my name. Georgia Me is Game, G-A-M-E. But when I went to Deaf Poetry, the white people thought I was African. They kept calling me Guy Me. It just wasn't clicking to them that my name was Georgia Me. So Russell was like, spell it all the way out, and that's who I am.
Okay. Okay, I dig it. Yeah. Had to make it plain so you could just go on and get past the confusion. So what words would you have for a young poet coming out? Like, what would you say to somebody trying to get this to be it's already a life's work? What do you say to someone who wants it to be lucrative enough that they can do this as a profession?
Right now, the black print been laid. They just need to talk to somebody who's been doing it so they don't go through the same pitfalls. And luckily, I'm blessed to have saved a lot of people from, the insecurity that comes with following your passion. Because this is a career of faith and offering. You've got to have faith. If you don't have faith, you cannot do this. It's just not what it is. First off, you can have all the money in the world, but you're going to be tried beyond measure because you're a vessel. If you truly are a poet, you're a vessel. You know what I'm saying? So you're going to be saying things that necessarily ain't the world's opinion or popular opinion, but it's truth and it's healing. And you gotta be prepared for whatever comes with it, because it comes with mighty reward. I tell people all the time, I get paid in ways that man can't see. God is me. I mean, I'm from the west side of ATL, like that. You know what I'm saying? I'm from the A, and I'm a little ghetto belle with all this love in my life. I serve my community. It serves me. I've always been protected and loved. And then I get to do poetry where I'm healing and helping and also healing myself. You know what I'm saying? So then God blesses me to go all over the world, blesses me to speak to people and relate to them and elevate them and educate them and inspire them. I get to do that. Then I'm a writer, I'm an actress, I'm a rapper, I'm a comedian, and then I get to be fly. And I you know what I'm saying? It's just like everything, I get to minister. It's the best. So if you want that reward, then you good. So it all depends on what you value. Money is great, but money is a tool. And if you got money and you're not doing nothing with it for the benefit of many or at least all, then you ain't doing shit. You just a consumer, a parasite. You know what I'm saying? So, but being a poet is the dopest life, and we go through it. But that don't mean you can't have a job. It's so many poets got good jobs. I tell people, let your job fuel your dream.
Absolutely. That's what mine do.
Books, do shows, sponsor tours. You know what I'm saying? Invest in other artists and artisans that you meet in this spoken word world. You know what I'm saying? So it's so many ways to do it. So as a young poet, I'm like, what else do you like to do? What can you do to make money with that, period? So that's not a thought to you. And make sure that you're being true to yourself and not trying to sound like anybody else. It's so unfortunate that there are no original voices. Them voices ain't brave and sound like somebody else. That's tried and true. Bitch, you ain't doing shit. You feel what I'm saying? You got to be authentic. That is a poet. Langston Hughes say, hang yourself with your words. And if you're not doing that, you're not sacrificing. You ain't doing nothing. You masturbating on stage, okay? I see you. But that's just me, I've been in this game a long time. So, I've observed and studied. And I'm a student of culture and literature and poetry and speakers and ministers and prophets. So little games can't be played. Okay. So I'm okay. I'm sorry, I get a little crunk.
Hey, that's what it's for. If you ain't got the passion, what you in it for, right? So let's see. So Brother Knowledge Born Allah put me on the spot, so I didn't have my questions prepared for you. He didn't tell me when the interview was happening, so we just flowing organically. Let's see here. So with with poetry, what have been the challenges for you?
More than anything is breaking people's stigma of what they think poetry and spoken word is. How limited they think it is. They don't know how grand it is, how it is the core of everything. When something is wonderful, it is poetry in motion. Okay? Do you understand me?
You're right.
So don't disrespect the core. That's what they do, and I ain't with it. And I come through like thunder. I come through like God and show them what the word is, and they have the word, and I empower, because everybody's word is worthy. And that's the thing, it has to be to the right audience. Don't cast your pearls to swine. Everybody ain't supposed to hear what you got at that time, and you got to be cool. You know what I'm saying? You can't make a baby eat steak. You can't do that. You got to know your audience. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm all about. Putting poetry where how it's supposed to be put. Putting the paint where it ain't. You know, people like, I don't want to do that poetry. I was like, I got somebody for you. I don't try to put an esoteric, you know, amazing writer in a spot where the energy is not accepting the poetry, like a comedy club. I'm not saying that you can't put that in there, but it got to be wrapped around something.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It got to be presented right. And that's what's wrong.
I totally understand that, because I had an event one time and a brother called me up, brother I respect very much. So when he called me and said he had it for me, I ain't turned it down. And then when I talked to the sister who it was, it was a tea party. And I'm like, you want me to speak at a tea party? Not bringing the poetry at a tea party? Like, I'm who you thought of when the AKAs and Deltas got together, the 50-year-old AKAs and Deltas got together and asked you for a poet. You thought of me? Yeah, and so
you should have a word that would be appeasing to that crowd. And that's another thing about poets. I'm not saying don't be for the revolution 23 hours of the day, but do you have sex? Do you miss your mama? Do you appreciate the bird that you just saw fly across your window? Like, you got to be versatile and have something for every space so you can bring them to the ultimate word you want. You'll open the things they haven't seen. So you got to have something that is for every crowd.
And that was the purpose of putting me in that situation. I understood that. But then I don't know. I'm not a poet for hire in the sense that don't come and tell me you got a specific thing you want me to talk about. Like, you want me to write on this woman I never met. I don't know. That's just, I don't have that yet.
That's wonderful work. That's commissioned writing. I've written for Nike. I've written for Jeep Heineken. I've written for the U.S. Census. I've written for the Harlem Dance Theater of Harlem. I've written for the Auburn Avenue documentary. I'm right now writing the whole movie for this documentary on the fifth little girl. You know how there were 4 little girls bombed at the Alabama bomb? There was another one. The little girl, her name is Sarah, and she lost her eyes, and her sister. So I'm engulfing myself in that world. You know what I'm saying? Because I am a writer. Now, when I write about full-fig potential or ghetto bail or for your protection, that's me going through stuff. You know what I'm saying? But I'm a writer. And I love it. I've written for Nike doing LeBron James signing when he was 19. I wrote a whole poem about him, his life and his friends, and how he was going to change the game at 19. You know what I'm saying? So that's commission writing. Get into it. That's a check.
All right. All right. Yeah, okay. I can understand that. And so 100 years in the whirlwind, that's what we're doing. What does that mean? What does that mean to George and me?
I mean, first off, I want someone to explain the whole thing to me. I would appreciate it because I'm just Black. And anything dealing with Blackness, I love. And I didn't even necessarily just want to be a part of it just to perform. I want to know what it is, what it's about, how it was started. But I was reading the bios and they're amazing Black people. So I was like, hey, I want to what's this? This is dope.
Okay.
This is smart. You know, I'm a ghetto nerd. Shouted like I'm always about the upliftment and education of my people. So I'm just honored to be a part of it. I see, and I mean, my boy, one of my closest comrades, Kalonji Changa, is a part of the event. So I was like, yeah, I'm in good company. Period. You know what I'm saying? I totally relaxed after that, but I was already intrigued by everyone else. So
okay. Well, Brother Aleous is on tonight, and that's a great segue, because our first question was, because I know there are people out there who don't know, what is 100 years in the whirlwind?
All right, peace and love, Africans. Sister George and me, it's an honor and a privilege to finally get an opportunity to rap with you, talk with you, converse and see where you at. I'm loving this conversation. I'm loving the what's the word I'm looking for? Give it to me. I'm loving
the transparency, freeness.
Yes, yes, I'm loving it. I'm loving it. Remove that veil. Let the Africans in. Let them know who you are. I'm loving it. 100 years in the world. Well, first of all, Brother Kalonji, I don't know if you know or not, but he's the Eastern Director, coordinator of the Black August Committee. So so he's definitely the man with the master plan. So Black August is an observance that started in 1979. But what happened is it's events that happened before then that actually culminated in the celebration in 1979. Our brother George Lester Jackson was accused of throwing a correctional officer off of one of the tiers. He ended up getting murdered. Brother Drongo and John Clichetti ended up becoming known as the Soledad brothers. And during that time, George was communicating with his younger brother Jonathan. In 1970, Jonathan came up with a plan to put pressure on the state to see if they could free George. Jonathan went into the court and said, gave those favorite lines, gentlemen, I'm in charge now. And the plan was, like I say, simply to free his brother. But, the powers that be, they let loose and murdered everybody in the van. The van was bright yellow because, like I said, the whole thing was a ploy to negotiate. But Euros, they didn't want to negotiate with us. So then a year later in 1971, George was attempting to help free some other Africans who were behind the wall, and he ended up being martyred. In 1978, another brother was killed in San Quentin, and then a year later, people just say, what we have to do is we have to start communing with our political prisoners. If we buy into that logic that everybody that ended up, in the hot box, as I like to call it, is not there, but just because they're African, we fall into that trick bag that, Africans are innately, evil, bad people and all that kind of foolishness. So that is where, the whole concept of idea of Black August came from. But as it evolved over the years, people looked at it and say, August is a real spiritual month for African people. I mean, you have the beginning of the Haitian Revolution. You have the beginning of the immortal prophet Nat Turner's holy work. Unfortunately, Gabriel's Prosser's most holy work was, uncovered in August. Marcus Garvey was born in August. The first UNA conference was held in August. Our chairman, Fred Hampton Sr., has a birthday in August. So if you look at it, it's a very spiritual month. And it seems like if we're not resisting, the ones who usually lead the resistance, have their birth. That is their birth month. So this year we looked at, because this is the 41st celebration or observance of the original Black August. And like I said, just these other caveats that we add to it. When you look at it, like I said, this year will mark the 100th year anniversary of the first UNIA conference. On August 13th, 1920 is when we got our flag. That's when the Most Honorable said, the red, the black, the green will forever be, the colors of African people, no matter where we are in the nation. So, we looked around, myself and Brother Bomani, we looked around, and I will say this, prematurely, we didn't see anything, African people coming together to celebrate it. I will admit we were wrong. But I will say this: if we would have found out that others were doing something, what we would have done, we would have supported them, and we would not have tried to organize this event. So what we did was we just got on the horn. We started calling people, making connections, and seeing if we can bring African people together, to see if we can partake in this historic moment. Because at the end of the day, you can't be taken seriously as a people if you ain't making history. So this is definitely history, because his centennials only happen once in a lifetime. We just, are honored or blessed to be born, right now, because at the bicentennial, all of us, physically will have transitioned, but I'm pretty sure our legacy will live on. Our children, will know to pick up that shield and that spear and continue the fight. So we made the calls, and we pushed out the emails, and just through different relationships, we ended up collecting coming together, unifying, organizing with about 40 Africans all around the world. We have Africans, doing something, whether it's spoken word, music, doing a lecture, doing a workshop, North America, Central America, South America, Europe, Asia, and on Mama Africa. So I think that if Garvey had a plan and a program for us to follow, I think that would be it, because it's true Pan-Africanism. And so looking at it being a month of resistance, looking at it being a month of some of our greatest resistors, coming, to the forefront and fighting, we said, okay, what else can we look at? So we said, we're going to really focus hard on resistance education. Now, why resistance education? Because there's so many little things always you got to hit, right? But I was like, because at the end of the day, we have all this mess going on with this pandemic. We don't know if it's pandemic or pandemic, whatever, but the powers that be gonna use it to do what they got to do when it comes to us. I don't know if y'all saw the other day on CNN, in Washington State, one of the school districts said this: we're gonna send all the African children to school. This was on CNN, so this ain't play news. We're gonna send all the African children to school, and then we're gonna see what happened to them first, and then we'll send the European children to school. This was on CNN. So we said, okay, if we, being that we made an observation and we understood we had an obligation, so then we had to heed the call. So we said, okay, we need some resistance education. We got to have something that stands in the face and can protect our babies and ourselves from this pandemic. Something that can protect us from miseducation, diseducation that all of us received, going into the public food system anyways. And it took us years to figure out, who we are, and what we need to do for ourselves and our people. So we have about, 6 different African-centered homeschools who have taken their curriculum and instruction and went virtual. So we're putting this out there for African people so that to let them know, hey, you don't have to go back there. You don't have to be, hemmed and hound in a corner. I'm not a spoken word artist, but I do love Claude McKay, and When We Must Die is one of my favorite poems. But we don't have to be hemmed in a corner and be, forced to do what they want us to do. We have scholars who taught at places like Morehouse, left Morehouse 20 years ago and started in African homeschool in your city, in Atlanta, Ekobin Institute. I want to say this is the 22nd year of Ekobin Institute. You have Brother Q, but I still don't know how to say the name of his school, but you spell it Xzayx. Anybody can help me with the pronunciation of that? Okay, but you know what I'm talking about. We have Kamali Institute, Kamali Academy in New Orleans. You have African Centered Homeschool in Belize. You have Uhuru Academy, South Carolina location. Am I missing anybody? Anybody? You have Freedom Home Academy that's based in Chicago, but he has international schools. And all of these Africans will be in attendance. They have been doing this for a long, long time. Some of them have, went into the worst place you can go as far as, trying to get information. And what I mean is their universities, getting those advanced degrees, because the further you go up, the more you're reason you're surrounded by. So they went in and they came out, you know, wounded, but they healed themselves through us. So, you know, to present this information to our children. So that's you know, Black August in the nutshell. I know it's a lot, but you know, we got a lot to do. So, but that's what we try to do. We tried our best to hit all the areas of people activity, because if you look, every area of people activity, you're gonna find us. So did I make a plain, or I just rambled on a little bit?
No. It was great, because that's Black August is very important to me. That's what I want, and that was another reason why I was like, I want to be involved, because this has been the blackest year ever. You know what I'm saying? And I you know, moved to Philadelphia, the bombing, and moved. It's also Nipsey's birthday this month. You know, it is so many different elements to this month that are significant. And Michael Jackson, I mean, I know he ain't it to some people, he everything to me, you know what I'm saying? So I just feel like we need those type of collective efforts at unity and education and make it palatable. That's why I mess with Kalonji so strong, because he a real brother who, you know, wants just people to know and be empowered. So I'm proud of y'all, and I'm honored to be a part of it. And anything y'all need from me, y'all know y'all got.
And I appreciate it, sis. Before you leave us, can you leave us with a little something so the people know what they got to be here for on the weekend of the 14th?
Oh shoot, I don't even know. And here I am talking, but you better have something ready. Okay. I'll do what I think. I don't know if I did this last time. Knowledge, what did I do last time? Do you remember?
We wouldn't know. It would be new to us.
Okay. All right. Why be mad? You're the only people that never created or taught. Only brought and stole what you got. Hate me because I can see the truth. I got proof. It's on paper, your devious caper to rob and rape. To block me, you put up red tape, brainwash jewels to believe their origin is ape, and I shouldn't have sour grapes. I prayed for understanding so I could see how a people with so much interest in hating me, degrading me, beating me and mistreating me, eventually just faded me out without a doubt. You justify killing and stealing, you true villain. Joker with the upper hand, forever Miss Dillon. To pacify, you said we'll make it straight. So you laid on the table the welfare plate, so we ate because there was nothing to eat. Still starving, so we hit the street to get on our feet. But see, there was a trap again. Never want to see us win. Of forgiving people, so we believe in your devilish grin. So you come on in with cocaine and heroin and shooting our vein. Can't kill our spirit, so you try to ruin our brain. If we didn't have God, we might have all gone insane. Now, see, we did lose some, but see, the rest you trained through fear and threats, assassinations and flight deaths, through print you type and TV, film and media hype the world into believing your lies. So the world sighs at the cries of our seeds, who only get fed off what we feed. But there's nothing to be fed. Our streets are turning red, many turning up dead. Dismissed because of the life they led. It's conditioning that keeps us down. Separate the classes, let your brothers drown as long as you don't stink. And you would think we would show some consideration, some sympathy to the situation, to recognize the relation, the bond, the connection. They want us to hate and kill, live with no affection. The CDC is in my backyard. Viruses are in the air. There's no guard. Power lines creating cancer clusters. I'm yearning for the knowledge while the fools filibuster. Yet you tell my children they can't cut the mustard. So they constantly try to catch up by idolizing and worshiping material things, fancy cars, expensive rags, and things that go bling bling, never realizing the truest worth, the gift from God, which is birth. The shackles on our feet are not the ones we must break, but the ones in our mind, which keep us from being a righteous people. To overstand, there's no human standard we must equal. It's not anger or hate with which I'm filled. It's a calling to tell the truth and to heal the fear, the loathing, the pain, which keeps us sad. We must not bow down to the devil. But please don't ask me why be mad. So that's why be mad, people. Don't just be mad.
Why be mad? Don't ask me why I'm mad. Don't ask me. I was just having this conversation with Brother Knowledge Born earlier. Don't ask me why I'm mad. Yeah. Absolutely. I'm angry 24/7, and I have every right to be. Baba Baruda let me know I had permission to have my righteous rage years ago, and ever since he told me two things: it's okay to lie to white people, and it's okay to be mad.
Exactly.
Because you know, growing up, hey, and I'm mad 24/7, and I can smile, including.
Exactly.
So,
I mean, it's use that anger, use that passion to serve your people. Find a way to rectify a problem in our community, in our worlds, right around you. Everybody think it has to be these grand gestures. The grand will become great. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't have to worry about if anybody knows. The Most High know, your spirit know, those people who you serve know. So I don't make no apologies for how I feel. I'm sick of black people, period, making apologies for truth. You know what I'm saying? I don't give a damn. I don't care how you offended. What? Like, it doesn't, and celebrating us. I love celebrating us, and we have a right to, because we are the chosen ones. We are divine people. We teach everybody. We embrace everybody. We are the only people on the planet who are identified with soul. We reach out to everybody. Everybody want to be a African American, colored, nigger, Negro, Nubian. They want to be that. They want to be that. And so what we've been through is purposeful, but we got to learn how to empower ourselves and do things that are really accurate, not just in gesture. That's my whole thing. I don't want no gestures. I don't care about no streets. I don't care about no statues going down. I need legislation. I need litigation. I need conviction. You know what I'm saying? And if ain't no conviction, they house going up. I don't know if I say this on every show. I just believe. I'm sorry, you don't have to be affiliated with me, but I just believe we got to do, you in the
right company here, sis. You in the right company.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like, we got to stop being, we ain't no more passive. That's not an option. And let me tell y'all what's so good about it. For years, I've been saying converge. I've been like, we got to come up with other ways to make our point in activism. So when they went to those officer houses and he got sent to jail within 3 days, the first one, the only one that's still in jail in the George Floyd case, right? I was happy. What happened to the strategy? What happened to that strategy? And we need to make that a permanent strategy in our fight. Like, wherever it comes up at, and there needs to be retribution. We need some warriors out here. You will gladly kill all the Crips, Bloods, gangster disciples, and all of that in a heartbeat, and take down the street. But you ain't taking the cops out that took out so many brothers in your community. Stop. That doesn't make sense. That's just me. You know what I'm saying? And I have a family members who are police officers. I don't want no great cop to die. But if you great cops, good cops don't tell on the bad cops, then we got a problem. I don't hang with hoes because I don't want to be affiliated. And I identify hoes when I see them for the safety of my brother. That right there is your downfall, bro. Don't do that. That's the same with anything. If you're a doctor, you're not going to let a bad doctor exist around you where people are dying left and right. There's going to be a report. Come on. There has to be. You have to make everyone accountable. And I don't want us only get mad when a so-called cop or a white person kill us. I'm more angry when we kill us. And I don't care about no other side of that. When they were like, don't talk about that. No, it's all active. We all have to be accountable, in our upliftment and who we are. So that's all. I'm gonna get on my soapbox and the next thing you know. But I love us. We are so amazing, so dynamic, so beautiful, so dope, so resilient. That's why I understand low self-esteem because we've been brainwashed. And I'm like with the red, black, and green. When you're a young black person in the hood, you don't come up with that. My folk from the country. You know what I'm saying? That's a nice combination of colors, but I wouldn't have known that it was liberation colors. I know that black people are affiliated with it. Now it's more known. We're raising our kids up with the knowledge. But no, most of us don't know the lineage of black people all across the world. And like in my city's so rich with black excellence that, I thrive in that. That's why people from Atlanta have a certain kind of swag. Like, y'all think y'all all that. Yeah, don't you think you all that? Like, what's wrong with you? Blackness is everything. That's how we live. I grew up my whole life with black everything. Black male, black this, black that, black. I went to school with Andrew Young's son and John Lewis' son. I've had John Lewis walking through my elementary school my whole life. I chose an African name at 10 years old at Payne Forest, not an African-centered school, but it was Black teachers making it African-centered. You feel what I'm saying? I saw roots at 6 years old in my school. Nakedness and all. Like, it just was instilled in us. And an accountability and a standard. And we should. And we need to understand that everybody ain't going to be dope. And we got to pull others up. But we don't need to lower ourselves. We are regal. No matter whatever monetary value is put upon us, that doesn't matter. That's not your soul and your character. Y'all are poor in your soul. Real talk. I don't care how much money you got. You don't do nothing for nobody. And if you ain't got $1, you can't get nothing. That's poor. I feel bad for people like that. Like, dang, if you was hungry, you couldn't eat. If you ain't got $1. No, I come from a rich community. The so-called homeless will feed me because I fed them so many times. So, you know, I just want us to get to us and love us and be in us and honor us. And because I do. I'm just so grateful. That's why this shirt, I love being Black. Like I always say in my show, if I was to pass away and I'm at Heaven's Gate and God be like, well, you going back? How you want to go? And I'd be like, a nigga. I would definitely say that. It would be no conversation. It would be, I don't want to be nothing. That's because the story of the Black person in America, the legacy, the genius, the flyness, the creativity, I want that. I revel in it. I thank God for it. And I respect all aspects of the diaspora. Love them. Like I said, I've had African names since I was 10. But we are so dynamic. And I love us for that. So that's it. I'm gonna stop talking. Let somebody else talk.
Well, no, we certainly appreciate it. You done gave us a piece. We've been vibing. It's been real. Like, listen, I wanted Brother Aleous to explain, because everybody doesn't know why we use the term whirlwind. What is the whirlwind? Where does that phrase originate from? Why are we using whirlwind?
Well, originated from the Most Honorable. The Most Honorable said, you know, when he makes his transition, that's where you will find him. Because usually, you know, African people, like my sister Georgia Me so eloquently put it, you know, Africans, what I believe you said, we're spirit. You know, we have that soul about us. So when the storm comes, especially you being from the South, so you know what I'm talking about. When that storm comes, you know, your spirit moves. I mean, it rouses, you know, those emotions. And if it doesn't get you to move, then the storm will consume you. Well, in this situation, the whirlwind has to consume us. It has to, you know, capsulize all of those billions and billions and billions of African people so that we can be the force that can move us toward, you know, re-Africanization.
Indeed.
Trust me, I'm loving it. They don't heard us talk a million times. We've been doing this for a month now, and you know, Sista Tria don't had hers. So, you know, we really appreciate it, you know, you coming on and giving us a different little spice. You know, I mean, I know you Georgia Me, but you're Georgia hot up in here. And we love it because this is the thing. This is the thing with African people. When they see us coming, you know, they see the bully with the books. You know, they see Tria. They know knowledge born. But they don't understand, not all, but some. They don't understand that you can be really real because they see us as, you know, mechanical and, you know, with Tommy Tons and stuff like that. And that's what I meant to say. You know, you loose. You know, you just giving it to them, and it's received differently. You know, because you're able to, you know, love us. And I think that we've said this a billion times. One of the things that I know I said here on Do the Knowledge Radio is that you can build from hate. The only place you can build from is love. But the love starts in here first. If you look at the mirror and it's something that you don't like looking back at you, then you in for a messed up situation. You know, you might look different because you have no value to yourself or to your people. But if you can genuinely look in that mirror and it starts with, damn, I really love that person. I teach. I teach. This is a real live story. I teach second grade. I taught first grade. I'm gonna go back to my sisters in first grade because I love them so much. But they got me second grade. So me and Miss Henderson, we're gonna kick it. Miss Henderson, I love you, right? But we did this thing today, this icebreaker, which is weird because everybody knows everybody. We did this icebreaker then, and it says, why do you matter? And everybody had all these, dissertations on, why they matter. I had 2 words. You know what my 2 words were? I'm me. I'm me. I'm me. I'm me. So they was like, Chin, would you just so arrogant? I say, no, I'm not. I say, I'm me. And who I am, I'm a husband. I'm a father. I'm a worker. As Brother Knowledge Born said, I'm a trench worker. I'm a coach. I'm gonna try my best to always be a protector of our culture. I'm that African that's down by law. So I'm me. I ain't got to give you no dissertation. Because at the end of the day, I don't know about y'all. Because even you give it to them, so let me give it to them tonight, right? So it's like, I tell myself, listen, I don't know about y'all, but I never feel lonely. Because at the end of the day, I got me. I know my answer's there, but I got me. You dig? I can tell a joke right now. And I'm going to fall out laughing because I got the joke. It's going to feel good that I got the joke. And I'm going to feel good that I laughed at the joke. It might seem a little schizophrenic, but I'm me. I'm me. Now, I'm going to take it a step further, though. I'm we, though. And that's what they didn't get. Not only am I me, I'm we. So when you hurt, I hurt. When you suffer, I suffer. When you struggle, I struggle. I am we. You dig? So I don't care if you're in Georgia. I don't care if you're in Belize. I don't care, if you're in Trinidad. I don't care if you're in Asia. And listen, we all we got.
Amen.
Yeah. But we all we need, though.
We all we need. We all we got, and we all we need. That's it, right?
Y'all my people. This is my thing. I think a lot of times my community of people who have a deeper knowledge of African culture and tradition, and like you said, the re-Africanization of the planet, right? They don't invite hood people.
Well, let me tell you something, Sister Georgia. Me, it's one thing Tria will tell you. I love.
Can I add in no more? Can I add in that word?
Right, they don't invite us no more, man. I ain't nothing worse than when I get invited. I show out, and now they own the microphone.
It used to be all of us, and it used to be in abundance. And what happened was you don't want them hood ones in there, and they find out there's some suckers standing on the stage. That's what happened. That's what happened. So when they like, oh, this, you don't get this much. You know what I'm saying? You don't get this. Oh, put it. You know what I'm saying? Like you could just add it all in out of here. Like that relatability. Our people used to come to our people as our people and bring our people where they needed to be, not where we wanted them to be. You see what I'm saying? Right. So if you standing in front of a room full of old folk or a room full of children, you'll know who you got around you. You understand what I'm saying? We might be like, oh, I could work with this person, that person. Them children like, man, get his ass out of here. Or them old folk like, we don't want to hear that shit. Don't trust that motherfucker right there. That's what you got right there. Because you in the middle trying to make it. So you no longer in tune with your intuitive type of nature. You might figure out after, like, I knew it was something off with that cat or this one or that one. You see what I'm saying? And the hood ones, they don't lose it. They'll die if they get caught slipping. You understand what I'm saying? So the charlatans, the fakers, the stick-up kids, all of them that put on dashikis and unks and shit, they come in front and they be like, yeah. Now the hood cats like, oh, he about to rob the shit out of all y'all. Oh, everybody digging in their pockets. Is that easy? So, they put space between those who live a certain kind of way and they can't relate to them anymore. So no more is that, it was a time. It was a whole time. That's all that was in organizations. You see what I'm saying? Because that's who you can work with. Now these bourgeois, brand new folks that's running around ain't about to do nothing about nothing. You see what I'm saying? They trying to intellectualize. They trying to theorize nothing. You talking about a crop of an army that'll go and do what need to be done. And if they found out there was a righteous cause behind it, you understand what I'm saying? Like, you have to understand that this is how the rest of the world operates. You know what I'm saying? So no more. And if you don't look to your underworld, you ain't got no overworld. As soon as the underworld decide they want to take it, it's over with. So
brother, what
my bad for cutting in.
No. Because I'm gonna tell you what you just did. What you told us is this. You know, if I want to vet who's in front of the people, bring the people. The people, the Bunchy Carters, they don't have in the organizations no more. The John Huggins, they don't have in the organization no more. Because them jokers can readily vet who real and who not. And you got jokers around here who was King Kong consciousness and this, that, and other thing. Now they're around here smoking Black and Miles in front of babies. You did? But if you would have brought the real people in front of them, then they wouldn't have been doing that foolishness. Because they would have checked them from jump. And I don't care who don't like what I just said. Hey, I'm in Tampa. I'm always here.
No, because you like to fight. Listen.
I'm not, because it ain't about that. It's we building. We build it together. But I think that at the end of the day, you know, like you said, you got to bring the people from the bottom. Because first of all, they're the people the most hungriest. You know how they want to say, you know how the Panthers, they like to talk that Marxist stuff, right? So let's talk Marxist for a minute. It's the lumpen proletariat that got nothing to lose.
Nothing to lose. Nothing. That's where it's at. That's it.
No Panthers wasn't talking that Marxist stuff. That Marxist stuff was in the public. Those was black folk. You understand what I'm saying? Those was black folk. They wasn't talking about nobody else. They get all that twisted when you start hearing all these other people who was real comfortable with that. Like, nah, we are anything that exists for our people can only exist. Nobody else is accepting that shit. No time. I was like, hey, other than hip hop, okay, other than hip.
You know, he get to going in and they freeze him up in a heartbeat. They do not let him get away with nothing. And I think, first of all, I ain't no but, absolutely right in everything that is being said. And that's why the organizations don't bring the hood people. Because as you say, they are real. They gonna check you. They are genuine because they got stuff to do. There's other things that could be taking their time. They're genuine when they show up. When our people show up, when the people show up, they want something. If you're standing on a soapbox, they expect something. And so we have to but that's good though, because it keeps us focused, it keeps us grounded, and that's where I want to be. Ever since I was a little kid, that's where I wanted to be. I didn't want to be anywhere else. I remember deliberately sabotaging when I used to get put in the in the bourgeoisie classes because I didn't like it. I did that when I was a kid because those just weren't my people. Because there's always a sense of fakeness, but we are going to close it out. Join us on Facebook. We're going to take the conversation over to Facebook, see what's going on. I did want to close this with the quote that includes the whirlwind, a quote from the whirlwind speech from the most honorable Marcus Mosiah Garvey. And it reads, "When I am dead, wrap me in the mantle of the red, black, and the green. Wrap me in the mantle of the red, the black, and the green. Around me for a new life, I shall rise up with God's grace and blessings to lead the millions to the heights of triumph. To that you well know. Look for me in the whirlwind or storm. Look for me all around you. For with God's grace, I shall come back with countless millions of Black men and women who have died in America, those who have died in the West Indies, and those who have died in Africa to aid you in fight for liberty, freedom, and life." We walk with our ancestors. There's no doubt about that. This is a call from our ancestors. We are all here because we heard the call. We accepted the duty, and we are proud to wear the mantle of the red, black, and the green. BBC Hodier Africans.
Peace and love. Thank you, Sister Joyce.
Thank
Thank
you.
y'all. Y'all be blessed. Be safe.
Yes, ma'am.
Peace.
Peace.
Yeah. Now we gonna tell them. Night in front. We tell them like this, yo. I'm an African. I'm a African. I'm an African. I'm a African. Yeah, y'all like that? So no more. This man's mind is open. I'm an African. I'm a African. I'm a African. I'm a. Let's get back to the
motive is best developed by recognizing the common enemy.